All right, let's do it.
All right. There's something I noticed the other day, and I tied it back into something that you have said.
Okay.
And what that I posted a little video on my personal page, and within that little video, I had it was like a 3-minute video, and about 25 seconds of that, I touched on a little bit of controversy. And I noticed that unlike other videos, this one like didn't get any likes. Like nobody would like this video. Just kind of like my regular crew, you know?
Yeah.
No, I said something 2% controversial. You know what I said?
What?
It's what I said. I said that I think that we should recognize that some traditions, if you look around at different cultures, different religions, whatever, some traditions are good and we should keep those, and some traditions just aren't good, like objectively not good. And the context I was talking about is like bullfighting in Spain. Bullfighting in Spain is outgoing. It's becoming a practice that they just don't do anymore. They used to do it back the old days, but a lot of pressure, taste changing, attitudes changing, animal
Cultural
rights,
shifts,
these kind of things. Yeah, little shift. So, and I said that is appropriate. And if they're still doing bullfighting in Spain right now, which they are in some places, I don't really want to be too hard on the Spanish people for that, because I recognize that over time it's going to go away little by little with this gentle social pressure. Exactly. And I said, another thing like the burqa in some Muslim countries, the burqa is, women are required to wear the burqa. And I'm like, I just want to express, I think it should be okay for me to express that is one of those cultural practices or religious practices that should be allowed to fade into history, because it subjugates women to a high degree.
Agreed.
And subjugating women should be more outrageous than slaughtering bulls, which is outrageous. But it should be even more outrageous. These are humans. These are our sisters. And so I try to mention it gently and respectfully. And the rest of the video was about, the topic of Spain and bullfighting, but nobody would like that video. And I remember what you said about nobody wants to get involved in a controversial topic, even 1%, because they're afraid of the potential consequences. They don't feel safe. And I think about there's a no justice, no peace is an expression, no justice, no peace, which I really like, because if you think about it, if you don't agree with that, what are you disagreeing with? Because we're saying if there's no justice, we can't have peace. Are you saying we need peace and then we'll work on justice later? That's to me, that's saying like, no. We just don't want to hear about your injustice. We just want the peace only. For us. Your injustice is it's just like, that's too, we don't want to talk about that.
Agreed.
And I'm like, no. We have to talk about it. We have to talk about these things, and we have to be a little bit bold. There was another little connecting dot here is July 4th weekend. I have a Facebook friend that posted something about, she said that she wasn't going to be celebrating as she recognizes the indigenous populations that were colonized by the white invaders back in the day. This is, our ancestors, the white ancestors, whatever, not your people. But she was saying, she had an analogy in there that I thought was just great. And what she said, I'm trying to remember it. She said, if your father kicked me out of my house and made me go live in the dog shed, and then I lived in the dog shed, not too happy about that. I got kicked out of my house and I'm living in the dog shed, right? But he forced me out, okay? So that was your father. So let's say your father dies and then you inherit the home. And then you tell me, why are you complaining about having to live in the dog shed? It wasn't my fault. That was my ancestor. You see it? You see what?
That's a good analogy. I agree, man. Yeah,
so I commented on her Facebook post. I said, that's a great analogy. And she said to me back, "It's bold of you to comment." And I'm like, I'm being bold to say that's, it's like, wow. And she was recognizing that that it's so hard for people
to want to
to
interact with
dip a toe into this conversation.
Well, there's a lot to it, man. This is something I mull over all the time, because let's get into it, man. In my community, man, there's a lot of subjects that just aren't broached ever, right? People don't talk about them, and mostly from what I've seen, from also from a psychological standpoint, I think people fear what they don't understand, right? That's actually like a genetic thing, right? Through evolution or whatever, right? People feel, that's why you feel uncomfortable around somebody smarter than you. A lot of times, a lot of people do, at least. Maybe you don't, but a lot of people do feel that, that quite. And the reason for that,
I feel awkward around you.
Stop. Right, you're goofy. But no, and the reason for that, I think, if I'm not mistaken, is evolutionary speaking, you in an innate way, you understand that this person could possibly outsmart you, be out, more cunning than you. There's a danger to somebody smarter than you to a certain degree. You know what I mean? There's a vulnerability to being being out there in a situation, or putting yourself out there that you don't know something, or being vulnerable in general, right? So people stay away from things they don't. They're like, I don't know nothing about that. I'm into politics and stuff. I don't know. No. You know what I mean? They say, guy in a suit. Ooh, that's even worse. You know what I mean? There's certain things that people, back away from. And I think that I've realized, at least, because, I'm fascinated by the comment section. People are like, oh, the YouTube's comment section is the worst thing ever. It's a cesspool. Agreed. But it's one of the best kind of cesspools. I don't know how to explain it. There's like, every now and then you find some hilarious either gems. There's gems in there. Let's just put it like that, right? In every video.
What's the one guy I remember real early on, when one of our early videos, and somebody was making fun of you, like they write in a way like Ebonics. They're trying to mock the way that you speak by sort of writing in Ebonics. And you saw that comment and you're like, I love it.
I think it's hilarious. Like the whole, I'll get into it with you in the comment. I don't know. I'm really into YouTube, so I've been, I have my dummy accounts that I'm kind of trolling people on my damn self, right? So
sock puppets.
Yeah, not real. They're not really sock puppets. They're not really sock puppets. They're just like not main accounts, whatever, right? But so what I've realized on the internet is, I have to remind myself every now and then too. So most of the time, I think most people commenting on the internet, or the people making the dumb comments, I genuinely think they're like 16. Now I'm explaining why, right? Because I've gotten into arguments with some of these people, and I'm like, you got to start looking at everything surrounding, right? It's like some random day, I'm arguing with it. How does this person have this much time? First of all, right? They don't, there's just surrounding aspects. Then the point they made was so goddamn stupid. You know what I mean? It's just like only a 12-year-old. It is a 12-year-old. Get what I mean? It's kind of, Arkham's razor, you know what I mean? Kind of thing. So I think there's that aspect of a lot of people commenting, and especially you're the most outwardly opinionated, I think, around, 17, 20 or ish, you know what I mean? That kind of age where you have nothing really to do. You think you know something, but you don't know shit. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot more internet commentary than people realize. You know what I mean? I think that's the first thing we have to remember, right? And then the second thing is, like I was saying, people are, how do I put it? So society, there's this innate, people don't realize the unspoken rules we have to follow in society, but people just do it regardless, right? So for for example, Christians, there's a sense of community there. There's certain faux pas, and there's certain things, do's and don'ts in Christianity, and in different communities of Christianity too, if that makes sense, right? So you know what I mean? And in general, on the internet, I think there has become, especially on whether it be, specific actual social media sites, whatever, there are these cultural norms that pop up, you know what I mean? That are different. For example, you can get as crazy and racist as you want on 4chan versus something like a Facebook, also because of the rules they implement and stuff too. But, the reason why people don't even want to engage in deeper interesting topics is just, like I said, it's just, it's not, it literally, I think it's from a genetic level, it makes them, it makes you, I don't know nothing about this, it makes you uncomfortable. I think it really is.
Yeah, I think you're right. the only pushback I would have on that is just how much right now in the environment is there's so much, and with George Floyd and all the topics that have been, hot for the last year and two around the issues of race, has a lot of people thinking to themselves, like, I just don't want to hear about it anymore. I'm just tired of hearing about it.
Yeah.
But that's just a mistake. That is just a mistake. You've got to hear about it. You've got to talk about it. You got to put yourself out there. You got to dip your toe in. You got to make comments, because we need that social pressure over time to start to bend that arc of the universe towards justice, justice towards whatever the expression MLK said.
No, agreed. And that's kind of why I'm so focused. That's why
the moral arc of the universe bends towards justice. Yeah. But we need to bend it. We need to bend it.
It takes
you know
work.
What I'm saying?
Well, and that's why I try so hard to focus instead of focusing on like racism, at least when it comes to solution. Like I always try to bookend any conversation, and hey, there are actual solutions here. We're not just, because a lot of times anytime I watch something that always bothers me watching, any kind of, left media, we'll present a problem, and then it'll just be like, here's a story of some horrible stuff happening. All right, y'all take care. And it's like, well, can I do something? Can we do anything about it? And it kind of like eats at me, and my thing is like, hey, there is a solution to, sexism, racism, in a way that's, actually can change your life right now. You know what I mean? And that's actually, through cooperatives, through actually cooperatively owning things, through, diluting the power. When one person has all the power on their end and they're able to enact whatever rules they want, they can, make you do something strange for, a piece of change, whatever it is, right? They want to do, right? Like if you want to take that power away from them, it takes taking power for yourself. It's like, and it's scary, it's hard, but yeah, man, it takes jumping out there, finding some friends. It's like, like the biggest thing, like there's certain things I know, we want to get into these topics a little later. But like for example, a cooperative, style bar on Dirty 6th Street on, in Austin would overnight, if there was a cooperative, night bar on 6th Street, it would overnight become the industry bar of the town. You know what I mean?
No,
the people that actually work in the industry would flock to actually, get their drinks there first of all. Then it would also, like I can't even imagine it failing. The only way is like the owners would have to would try to force them to not go there, or like to quell them. Like that would be the only way that a bar owned by the actual employees would go under. And also it would motivate other people to see like, yeah, man. So they come in, be like, man, it's nice in here. People would actually have owners like. I mop floors already, you know what I mean? Like if I had part ownership in it, it would mean a lot more to me than like now. It's like, man, look, man, I'll do the bare minimum. You know what I'm saying? I'm no longer Mr. or above and beyond. You know what I'm saying? Like I have no stake in anything. I'm a cog in a machine. They can throw me to the wolves. You know what I'm saying? They pretend like my position is entry level, or it's entry level anyway. It's not. They act like my position. We all talk like positions like mine are temporary for like kids in college and shit, but literally the people doing it is an old 50-year-old lady and me, I'm saying, 30 years old. It's like, yeah, how temporary is this? You know what I mean? Like how you know what I mean? How unessential is this? And that's the thing. Like I don't want to. I'm so tired of like. I think what we have to do. I think the goal is. I'm tired of trying to reach the people who just I don't know, like like that just. Are just going to go along to get along. I think we have to reach out and specifically those people that are like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you understand this one key aspect, somebody has to mop the floor, right? Somebody has to clean the shit off the toilet. I was trying hard not to cuss, but I did, right? Somebody has to do it. We all agree it has to be done, right? Somebody has to do it. Who's going to do it? And what do they deserve when they do it? You know what I'm saying? Like that's what those people, if you're that person, if I'm that person, you know what I mean? That takes that trash out, it has to be taken out. Somebody has to take the trash out. Do they matter? Right? And that's what we have to start looking at those people, that situation where it's like, yeah, man, you do matter, man. What, the owner gonna take out trash? Okay, then don't do it. Have him do it. He ain't gonna do it. Exactly. You matter. You know what I'm saying? Your position matters. It's way more important than what you doing. You know what I mean? The toy, like the food got to get made in the restaurant. Who's gonna make the food, man? You know what I mean? How do you matter or not? You get what I mean? Like he's gonna make the food, take out the trash. He's gonna serve the tables. The owner's gonna do all that. No, because y'all matter, bro. He literally can't have a business unless you are, you know what I'm saying, working it. You get what I mean? So what's funny is you don't need him. He needs you, right? You know what I mean? Y'all need each other, don't need him at all. You know what I mean? That guy's the one cog in the machine that's not necessary is the guy that owns everything. You know, and it's just like until we internalize that, understand, and it's like, oh crap, you know, it doesn't even, you know, we can stop racism at the past. It's like, yeah, you could be a racist all day, but you know what I'm saying, as soon, you know, you can be a racist all in your feelings all day if you want to, but I have just as much power as you, and if you start to use your racism to negatively affect me at my job, you know what I'm saying, I can go to my other, you know, co-owners and we can get your racist ass up out of here. You get what I'm saying? Like, you can be racist all day over there. You get what I mean? Like, and that's the point. The left, I think if people heard that message and understood, like, yeah, no, man, you know, you can be racist. Come on over here, racist. You know what I'm saying? None of that racist stuff. You know, you can keep it at home. You know what I mean? You can call you can these niggers this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? All day at home, right? You know what I'm saying? When you get in this space, you know, because I have power too. I have the power to be like, nah, screw that. You know what I mean? Like that's what we're missing, and nothing's gonna change until we actually understand that. And I get hype about it. So, you know.
Yeah. No, for sure. No, for sure. You're, as far as a cooperative business on 6th Street, you're 1,000% correct. That would absolutely be a success.
No question.
It just needs to
overnight.
Be done. Yeah, no question.
Yeah, especially a bar. You know, the industry bar, it would be the industry bar overnight. If nobody else, people that work in the industry would come there and support it for sure. You know, so whatever.
And we're referring to the entertainment district in Austin, Texas, but the same thing would apply anywhere in the country. Co-ops, Marty and the Breaux is formed as a co-op, and we are advocating the co-op philosophy as loudly as we can. And so if you don't join Marty and the Breaux, you can go to martyandthebreaux.com, and we do have a page where you can express your interest. You're not obligated to anything. If you say, hey, I'm interested in this, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, look for a co-op around where you are. If you don't find one that's a fit for you, there are things you could do to create some. Learn more about it. There's lots of information out there about co-ops.
And this is like for people that are actually looking for alternative to everybody that's talking about racism. You know, what's the actual answer? What can we do? What can you do? It's like I said, from a black man in Texas who has deals with. I'm 6'7". I deal with racism all the time from every angle you could think of. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like and you're not stopping it. Racism isn't going anywhere, but what we can do is mitigate the effects of it, right? And that's what's important.
We cannot be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, and not be afraid
to talk about it.
Yeah,
not be afraid to talk about it, and know that there are ways to mitigate racism through worker cooperatives, worker-owned businesses.
It's about power dynamics. It's about, you know, giving yourself power. If you're somebody who knows, like, I'm not racist. Nobody I know is a racist. You know, well, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Those people who are racist, who are in positions of power, if, you know, as long as we get, you know, as long as their power cannot affect people who, you know, who deal with racism, that's the answer, right? You know what I'm saying? As long, you know, the same thing with sexism, though. It's the same thing with, you know, in my opinion, women's rights, giving, you know, women having more power over their own destiny. You know, saying whatever it is. If you feel like, you know, black people have too much power, cooperatives, my brother, you know what I'm saying? Give yourself more power too. Everybody, you know, whatever you think it is, bro. You know, for real. That's what the answer is. You know, it's, you know, we obviously see democracy. That's why we're also, America's great democracy. Let's have it through and through, you know what I mean? All the way into the workplace, you know, because we understand that, you know, having some dictator at the top is not the answer. That's why we don't have kings and queens, right? Same thing for work. But yeah, man, let's leave it there. I appreciate it. This was a good one, man. You know, you get me excited. You know,
I do. Stuff right here. I got a little amped up about this. I just people got to be willing to talk about it. They got to be able to put themselves out there. If they're a little uncomfortable, then be uncomfortable for a little bit and then get back in the game.
Agreed, brother.
All
Take
right.
it easy.
Real good.
Yo, you like what you just saw? Make sure you like, share, subscribe so the algorithms can algorithm or whatever sorcery they do. Follow us on our socials. Links all down in the description. And let's keep rocking.